Good afternoon, everyone. We are back in Regulatory Affairs Week 6 session with EFSS use of observational data for food supplement health claims. In previous session, we discussed about FDA US when observational data counts for supplements under DSHEA, including observational data categories with case studies. In today's session, Rutuja ma'am will deliver the session on EFSA's use of observational data for food supplement health claims. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we are exploring how European Food Safety Authority is evolving its approach to scientific evidence for food supplement health claims. Traditionally, EFSA has relied almost exclusively on randomized control trials or RCTs as the highest standard of proof. But nutrition science operates in the real world, where diet, lifestyle, and genetics interact in a complex way. Our goal today is to see how observational data, real world evidence from cohorts and population studies can complement the traditional hierarchy to produce more comprehensive consumer relevant insights. So let's see today's journey. So here is a roadmap for the next hour. We will begin by looking at EFS's existing regulatory framework and evidence hierarchy. Then we will examine why an RCT only mindset can limit progress in nutrition science. After that, we will explore how advance in data science and causal inference techniques are reshaping the landscape. Then we will follow that with the practical steps EFSA could take to integrate observational data responsibly, and finally discuss the broader implications for industry innovation, consumer trust, and public health outcomes. So, EFS's traditional approach prioritize RCT as a gold standard. So, under EFS's current rules, the most persuasive evidence for a health claim comes from control human intervention studies. So, this approach has ensured a consistency and scientific integrity for over a decade. Yet it also limits recognition of nutrition studies that can't be randomized. Um, for example, long term dietary habits or rare nutrient exposures. In practice, this means valuable findings often remain supportive rather than decisive, even when they align with the biological understanding. So this is EFS's evidence hierarchy today. So here you can see EFS's evidence hierarchy. At the top, sit meta-analysis and systematic reviews, followed by randomized control trials. Only after those come observational designs such as cohort or case control studies. So the logic is simple. RCTs minimize bias, but in nutrition, that rigidity sometimes excludes meaningful long-term or population level effects that can't feasibly be tested through interventions. The challenge. So, nutrition research faces unique constraints. Unlike drug trials, nutrition research must operate within people's daily lives. You can't ethically deny essential nutrients for years, nor can you lock participants into strict meal plans for decades. These realities make exclusive reliance on RCTs problematic. The challenge then is balancing methodological rigor with the ecological validity of how people actually eat and live. So why RCT alone fall short in nutrition? So first is ethical constraints, then temporal limitations and complex interactions. So RCTs are excellent for isolating single variables, but nutrients rarely work in isolation. Ethical concerns arise when withholding potentially beneficial compounds. Time is another limitation. Many benefits from diet manifest over 20 or 30 years. And finally, the human diet is not a laboratory system. Interactions among nutrients, genetics, and behavior make control isolation unrealistic. So, this is where larger scale observational studies add a value. Then real world evidence gaps. So table comparing RCT limitations versus observational strengths. So let's compare the two worlds. So RCTs offer precision but often use small homogeneous samples under artificial conditions. Observational studies, on the other hand, capture diverse population, long time frames, and real dietary patterns. They help identify effects that only become visible at a scale, such as population wide reductions in cardiovascular risk or nutrient deficiency trends. So, this is the real world evidence gaps, RCT limitations versus observational strength. Then, scientific evolution. So, observational data beyond correlation. For years, critics dismissed observational data as a correlation, not causation, but that view is outdated. Today, advanced analytics, machine learning models, propensity score matching, and genetic instruments allow us to approximate experimental control. These tools minimize confounding and help regulators judge whether observed associations likely reflect true biological effects. Then methodological advances timeline. So 2010 to 2015 big data, um, then 2016 to 2020 Mendelian randomization, 2021 present AI driven inference. So from 2010 to 2015 big data integration revolutionized epidemiology. Between 2016 and 2020 Mendelian randomization gained traction as a quasi experimental design using genetic proxies. Since 2021, AI-based causal inference methods have matured, enabling more accurate automated evaluation of complex nutrition data. Together, this shifts make observational evidence far more robust than in the past. Success stories from other agencies. So, other regulatory bodies have already paved the way. The FDA's real world evidence guidance for drug approval show flexibility can coexist with rigor. Health Canada allows observational data for certain functional claims, and Australia's TGA uses a risk based model that scales evidence requirements with a claim intensity. So these examples prove that adaptive frameworks can enhance both scientific credibility and innovation. I will see a case study. First is omega 3 and cardiovascular health. So, RCT result versus observational evidence. So, omega 3 fatty acid illustrate the gap between controlled and real world findings. Many RCTs, often short and high dose, found inconsistent benefits. Yet, long term observational research across diverse populations consistently links higher omega 3 intake with a reduced cardiovascular mortality. So, this suggests that duration, context, and dietary background are a key to interpreting a nutritional efficacy. So here you can see a clear difference between RCT results and the observational evidence. Then this is population level evidence, meta-analysis of observational studies, how cardiovascular protection. So when meta-analysis combine decades of cohort data, a clear trend emerges, consisting cardiovascular protection from omega-3 consumption. So this demonstrates how observational evidence can capture effects that small, short RCTs miss. The insight is not to replace trials, but to integrate both for a holistic view. Then, quality framework, establishing quality standards. So, robust quality framework ensure observational data meets regulatory standards for health claim substantiation. First is study design, sample size, then follow up duration, outcome measurement, and bias control. So, quality assurance remains essential. Only well designed cohort studies with adequate sample size, long enough follow, validated endpoints, and thorough confounder adjustment should inform claims. EFSA can maintain a rigor by adopting clear checklist and methodological benchmarks for observational submissions. The Bradford Hill criteria revisited. So, strength, consistency, dose response, temporal sequence, biological plausibility. So, Sir Austin Bradford Hill's causal criteria remain timeless. Regulators still ask: is the association strong, consistent, and biologically plausible? Does exposure precede outcome, and is there a dose response? Applying this systematically to observational studies can separate a robust casual signals from noise. So, strength of association, large effect size increase confidence in causal relationship, then consistency, reproducible findings across different populations and settings, dose response, clear biological gradients support a causal inference, temporal sequence, exposure must precede outcome in prospective designs, and biological plausibility, mechanistic understanding supports observed associations. Then risk of bias assessment tools. So to keep observational data credible, EFSA can lean on validated bias assessment frameworks. The new Castle Ottawa scale rates cohort quality. Then Robbins evaluates non randomized interventions, grade ranks certainty, and STORB ensures transparent reporting. So, by requiring these tools, EFSA would make sure every submitted study is assessed systematically for confounding, selection bias, and reporting completeness. So it's not enough to collect data. We must show it meets reproducible, peer reviewable standards. Then implementation strategy, uh, tiered evidence approach. So level 1 high certainty, level 2 moderate, level 3 general wellness. So EFS's tiered model creates a flexibility without lowering quality. Level 1 claims such as disease risk reduction still demand strong RCT or meta-analytic evidence. Level 2 allows high quality observational data to support functional claims when trials aren't feasible. Level 3 accept a consistent observational evidence for a general wellness statement. So this approach ties the claim strength directly to evidence depth, ensuring proportional rigor. Then claims categories and evidence requirements. So table showing claim type versus required evidence and observational role. So here is how it translates in a practice. For disease risk reduction claims, RCT remain primary, but observational data can reinforce plausibility. For function or structure claims, observational data can even serve as a primary evidence if design quality is proven. General function claims rely on consistency across multiple data sets. So this alignment keeps EFS's science first while acknowledging diverse study realities. Then pilot program framework. So five phases: criteria development, expert panel, pilot applications, evaluation, and full implementation. So change must be tested, not rushed. The proposed pilot program begins by defining criteria and convening a multidisciplinary expert panel. Next come pilot applications using real observational data sets. After evaluation and refinement, full implementation can proceed. Each stage builds confidence and transparency before new guidance becomes law. Then, stakeholder perspectives, industry viewpoints. So, industry sees this shift as an innovation enabler. Small and medium sized companies often can't fund large RCTs. So, observational pathway open fairer access to the market. Manufacturers gain a route to substantiate the benefits responsibly, while consumers receive products whose claims better reflect everyday use. So it's a win-win when paired with a strict review. Scientific community response, so supportive arguments area of concern. So among scientists, opinions balance optimism and caution. Supporters note that this approach reflects modern epidemiology and big data capabilities. Skeptics worry about residual bias or inconsistent study quality. EFS's challenge is to institutionalize strong peer review, transparent methods, and continuous education. So, observational evidence earns equal respect. So, supportive argument reflect a modern epidemiology methods addresses RCT limitations in nutrition, leverages by big data capabilities, and improves ecological validity. And area of concerns are potential for bias and confounding. quality variability across studies, interpretation, complexity, industry influence concerns. Then consumer protection priorities. So evidence transparency, claim accuracy, and risk communication. So ultimately, consumer protection remains central. Transparency about study types and limitations allows informed decisions. Accurate claims prevent misinformation, and contextual risk communication helps people interpret result appropriately. EFSA must ensure clarity in labeling so trust grows, not erodes, with these new evidence forms. Then technical considerations, data integration challenges. So data harmonization, analytical consistency, and reporting standards. So bringing diverse data sets together isn't trivial. So harmonizing variables across countries and cohorts, ensuring analytical consistency, and setting shared reporting standards are foundational. So without a uniform meta data, regulators can't compare studies effectively. So EFS's next step will be establishing a technical templates and standard statistical pipelines. Then statistical methodology requirements. So um, propensity scoring, instrumental variables, Mendelian randomization, and sensitivity analysis. So each statistical tool serve a regulatory purpose. Uh, Propensity scoring reduces selection bias. Instrumental variables analysis tackles unmeasured confounding. Mendelian randomization introduces genetic causal anchors, and sensitivity test measure result stability. Using this collectively allows EFSA to access not only if an association exists, but how robust and biologically plausible it is. Then computational infrastructure needs. First is cloud analytics, AI integration, and data security. So handling large epidemiological data sets requires a serious computing power. Cloud analytics offers scalable storage and processing. AI tools automate quality checks and strict data security protocols, protect sensitive health information. Building this digital backbone is essential for EFSA to review evidence efficiently and transparently. Then regulatory precedents. Excuse. So FDA real world evidence guidance. So FDA's 2018 framework for real world evidence provides valuable insights for EFS's consideration of observational data. First is fit for purpose, then data quality focus and regulatory flexibility. So the FDA's 2018 real world evidence framework is instructive. It emphasizes fitness for purpose. The idea that data quality matters more than study level, and encourages adaptive regulatory decisions based on public health relevance. EFSA can draw on this logic to design its own nutrition specific standards. Then international harmonization opportunities, global alignment benefits. So aligning with the global peers reduces duplication and increase confidence in cross border products. So it reduces regulatory duplication, enhance scientific cooperation, improved market access, stronger evidence base. So, coordinated approach across major regulatory authorities could accelerate evidence based decision making. Then ICH guidelines adaptation. So, adapting ICH principles for observational nutrition studies ensure common quality system and ethics standard. Such cooperation accelerates innovation and strengthen global scientific integrity. Then cost benefit analysis, economic impact assessment. So economically, a reform pays off. Analysis suggests a faster approvals, reduced trial cost, and broader SME participation. A projected 40% rise in claim approval rates and millions in a new R&D investment show how smarter evidence use can drive both innovation and efficacy. So this is what I have said. A projected 40% rise in claims approval rates and millions in new R&D investment show how smarter evidence use can uh, drive both innovation and efficiency. Then public health considerations, population benefits. Beyond economics, the public gains most. Earlier access to beneficial supplement supports preventive health, reduces healthcare burdens, and empowers consumers to make evidence based choices. Integrating observational data is not just a regulatory update, it's a public health advancement. So, earlier access to beneficial supplement, evidence based consumer choice, reduce healthcare burden, and prevention focused approaches. Then, implementation roadmap. Phase 1, foundation building. So, month 1 to 3, stakeholder consultation, 4 to 6, quality criteria, 7 to 9, pilot selection. So, implementation begins with a groundwork. The first 3 months focus on gathering stakeholders, scientists, policymakers, and industry to build consensus. Next, EFSA develops a detailed quality criteria and validates methodology. By months 7 to 9, initial pilot studies are chosen and tested. So, this phased start ensures inclusivity, methodological clarity, and early feedback before scaling up. And phase two, pilot implementation, nutrient specific pilots, cross validation studies, and industry engagement. So the second phase puts the framework into action. EFSA pilots the approach on well studied nutrients such as vitamin D, omega 3s, and probiotics. Each each pilot compares observational and RCT data to cross validate results. Industry participation allows a practical testing of data submission procedures while ensuring scientific objectivity remains intact. Then, phase 3, full deployment. Guideline publication, training program, and monitoring system. So, after validation, EFSA moves to full deployment. Comprehensive guidance documents define acceptable designs and reporting formats. Training programs build internal and external capacity, while monitoring systems continually evaluate claim reviews and study quality. So this final stage embeds observational evaluation into EFS's normal operations. Then resource requirements, expert personnel, IT infrastructure, training materials, and stakeholder engagement. So to succeed, EFSA must invest wisely. Expert epidemiologist and statistician anchor the process, while robust IT infrastructure handles data volume. Clear training materials ensure consistent interpretation, and ongoing stakeholder meetings maintain transparency. So these resources are modest compared with the long-term efficiency gains they unlock. So here you can see the timelines and cost also. In risk management, potential implementation risk. So scientific credibility, resource constraint, industry, gaming, and consumer confusion. So every reform carries risk. EFSA must guard against reputational damage uh, from low quality evidence, prevent reviewer overload, and deter selective data reporting by industry. Consumers might also find a new claim types confusing. Recognizing these risks early enables robust safeguards. Then mitigation strategies. So mitigation involves multiple layers, strong peer review process, independent expert panels, and transparent publication of evidence sources preserve credibility. Industry and consumer education programs clarify expectations, while continuous monitoring allows EFSA to refine criteria as experience grows. So it includes robust quality control, expert oversight, transparency measures, stakeholder education, and continuous monitoring. Then success metrics and KPIs, scientific quality indicators. So success will first be judged scientifically. Uh, EFSA will track study quality ratings, peer review outcomes, and reproducibility across submissions. High methodological consistency signals the framework is producing reliable results, not just faster approvals. Then regulatory efficiency metrics. So regulatory efficiency metrics follow reduced review timelines, then balanced workloads, and improved satisfaction among applicants and reviewers. The goal is a smart efficiency, decisions that are both quicker and scientifically stronger. In future implications, transforming regulatory science. So, integrating observational data represents a paradigm shift. It encourages investment in epidemiological research, spurs innovation in supplement design, and delivers a verified health benefits faster. Ultimately, it aligns regulation with preventive health goals, the true measure of impact. So, enhanced research, innovation, catalyst, public health, and consumer benefit. Then, technology integration opportunities. So, AI enhanced analysis, blockchain verification, real time evidence. Technology will amplify credibility. Machine learning can automatically evaluate the study quality and detect pattern across data sets. Blockchain systems can timestamp and secure data provenance, preventing manipulation. Real-time evidence from wearables or digital health apps may one day feed directly into AFSA assessment. Then long-term vision, personalized nutrition. So the long-term vision extends beyond population averages um, by combining observational data with genetics, biomarkers, and lifestyle metrics. EFS's future framework could support personalized nutrition, tailored supplement advice that matches an individual's biology. Observational integration lays the foundation for that precision. Then key takeaways, strategic recommendations. So, four strategic imperatives summarize today's message. First is implement tiered evidence framework, develop robust quality standard, invest in regulatory capacity, and foster international collaboration. So, first, adopt a tiered evidence model, aligning claim level with a proof strength. Second, set robust quality benchmarks for observational research. Third, invest in regulatory capacity. Fourth, collaborate internationally so EFSA remains a global leader in nutritional regulation. Then the path forward, immediate actions, and long term goals. So, expert advisory panel, pilot program, stakeholder consultation, and resource securing. So, immediate next step include forming an expert advisory panel, finalizing a pilot program design, launching a stakeholder consultations, and securing findings. Each of these action keeps the momentum while maintaining transparency and shared ownership of the reform. Then the long-term goals, transform evaluation, then enable innovation, improve public health, and maintain credibility. Over the long run, EFSA aims to transform how evidence is evaluated, balancing innovation with integrity. The ultimate goals are improved public health outcomes and sustained scientific credibility in a changing nutritional landscape. The future evidence based. Um, so the overreaching message is simple. Um the future of regulation is fully evidence based by embracing the full spectrum of scientific data. EFSA can remain rigorous yet relevant, protecting consumers while encouraging a responsible innovation. So, thank you for joining today's session. The integration of observational data isn't about lowering standards. It is about broadening insights. So, um, I'm happy to discuss your questions or hear your opinions on this important area of the industry. Over to you, Neha.
Thank you, ma'am. There are some questions. How EFSA effectively harmonize and standardize data to ensure it's reliable for assessment?
Okay, your voice is breaking, but are you asking about harmonization?
Yes, ma'am. How EFSA effectively harmonize and standardize the data to ensure it's reliable for assessment?
Okay, so see, harmonization reduces duplication of testing and streamlines approval across the region. So if EFSA aligns with the ICH, FDA, and Health Canada standards, companies can generate one consistent evidence package for multiple markets. So that encourages a scientific cooperation and strengthen the overall global evidence base.
Another question is, how will the role of observational data in assessing the safety of food supplements evolve, especially for long term use?
Okay, so the biggest risk is variable data quality. So some studies may be underpowered or poorly controlled. So EFSA will manage this by enforcing standardized reporting using bias assessment tools and requiring replication across multiple populations before accepting casual interpretations.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. It was informative sessions. Thank you.